Joanne. Watch this. He's getting very Techlandia eyes. Look at that. Look at the sound effect ability. You better be ready, Joanne, because if you say something involving money, Carl's going to go like that and get it.
That's right. Hey, are we live already?
We are live. You ready?
Nice. But how long have we been live?
Not very long. I was live that whole time you just said everything. No, I'm just kidding. We just went live.
You know, when I said all those terrible things about Travis?
That's right. When we were talking smack about Travis Phelps, that's where... Do we want to tweet out the link to this one or no? Do you want to tweet out the link, Carl?
I don't have that ability because I don't know what the link is.
Okay, here. Hold on. Oh. Let me see if I can tweet out the link real quick.
It'd be even easier for you and Joanne if you tag Joanne and I in it, because then we could just retweet it.
I will do that. Let me see if I can. I think I closed all my Google Hangout windows. Let's see. Hold on. Okay.
The Phantom Wednesday Techlandia.
I know this is like a ghost show.
Yeah.
We're ghosting it right now. So if you have a Techlandia and nobody hears it, did it really happen?
That's right.
So it's interesting. I actually have a theory about that, which John has heard. So I've enjoyed this. I thought I was going to be busier than I was, and when John was like, "Hey, I want to restart it," and I said, "I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have, but I'm willing to be around some." But I've had more. I've been able to carve out that hour on Monday nights, and I'm selfish. Like, this is professional development for me because I get to talk to smart people about things that interest me and things that they're passionate about. And while I hope people find it beneficial, I'm gaining from this. So it's all about me.
Right, pretty much. It's always about Carl. So.
Okay. I just did it. See, Carl, that would have been good. We should see. I'll have to cut that out of the show because I haven't edited yet.
Oh,
you could like throw it in at the end, and then I put it back in the show. That was such a cool little. That's what we've been talking about, though. That's seriously what we've been boxing about. All right, so there's the link if we want to tweet it out. It is a ghost show.
Did you put it on the Twitters or in the group chat?
I put it on the Twitters. I thought I tagged you. Do you see it?
You didn't know you.
No, I'm not on the Twitters. Hold on, let me get there.
Yeah, you are. You're App Education Fox on the Twitters.
That's right. I've been contemplating. I've been contemplating going a little bit. Less characters.
Ooh.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15. That's almost Miss Victoria Olsen status with your Twitter handle.
I know.
All you can say to Tortor is just like, hello.
Yeah. Let's make fun of more people that aren't.
Here's a link. Hello.
He's busy planning EdCamp 35, so she's definitely not watching.
Oh, that's right. That's this weekend.
I get to do back-to-back EdCamps 2 weeks in a row, actually. I'm pretty excited.
That is exciting. Hey, did you hear about EdCamp DOE or USA? It's happening 2 years in a row.
Which is really cool.
Did you hear what I said to that one, Carl?
No, what did you say to that one, John?
I heard yours real quick, and you were talking about EdCamp DOE, and I said, if I ever was in the same room with Arnster, would have to,
and then I was inspirational.
Throw bows. All right, we're ready?
Oh, yeah, Arnie. Yeah, no, that's true. You wouldn't be allowed to go.
No, I'll never be allowed.
Nope.
There's so many places I'm not allowed.
Yeah.
John, edit here. Hello, and welcome to Techlandia. How are you doing today? I am John Samuelson. I am here in the beautiful state of Oregon, and now I will kick it down to our friend Carl Ingrenstreicher in the South Bay. Tell us what to do, Carl.
Oh. Hi, my name is Carl Ingrenstreicher. I teeth a long time ago. I teach 9th and 10th grade. Yes, thank you. Unintentional humor. That's my specialty. I teach 9th and 10th grade world history, and that's all I want to say about myself.
That's all that he has to say about himself?
There's so much more to say.
There is so much more that we could say about him, but we will let other people do that because that is the kind of modest guy that Carl is. He kind of reminds me of the largest Fish fan that there is. He is probably the biggest fan of the band Fish in the South Bay, I would say. Except for maybe Travis, who actually lives in the South. And now we also have our special guest tonight, and she is over in the South Bay too. It's the extremely South Bay of San Diego. What town are you in? Actual San Diego, Joanne?
She's in Escondido, John.
Escondido.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a little bit
We're
up from
considered
San.
North County, actually, and there is a South Bay of San Diego. So I'm in the South Bay of California, but really in the North County of San Diego, if that makes any sense to anyone except you.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but I know that my good friend Scott Bedley would totally know where it is because he just everything is like in relationship to Tustin for him. So wherever it is, he just tells me how far away it is from Tustin, and then I know. So
Well, and
he'll.
everything north of Camp Pendleton is LA to me. So I don't even differentiate Tustin from LA.
I feel like we
So
just stepped into an episode of the Californian Saturday Night Live skit here. We'll take
Yeah,
101
probably.
down. So anyway, Joanne Fox is on with us tonight. Joanne, tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now currently and what we know what Carl does. He's ninth and 10th grade world history teacher. So tell us what you're doing right now.
right now, I've taken a year out of the classroom and I am working in a cubicle in the district office here in Escondido. And definitely a transition phase I'm going through. But I took a job as a teacher on special assignment to help design and plan a new school in our district with some new concepts behind it. And that's what I've been doing since August of this year.
Wow.
So, Joanne,
That's awesome.
I heard a little bit about this as you were in the process of wrestling with whether you should do it or not. And I have a ton of respect for that choice because I just the draw of getting to design a school, like how cool is that? And to get to build it from the ground up like you're doing. I struggle though. I would struggle with like not being around kids anymore. What has that been like?
Okay, so the first week, I have a partner who's also a TOSA with me, and we have the same position. So both of us left the classroom, and super bizarre. First of all, just boxing up all of my belongings and moving out of a physical classroom space was really hard for me. And if you know anything about me, you know how much I love books and how I love teaching kids to read and inspiring kids to have a passion for reading. I could not box up my classroom, my books, my class library. I asked the teacher who was moving into my room, would you like to use these books for a year? Because I can't bear them to not be in the hands of children. So my books are still in a classroom. I am not. But the first week was very strange. It took me a while to realize, hey, I have to go to the bathroom and I can actually get up and go. Like, just that little piece. And then when lunchtime came around, actually, we kept working. Like, we were in this like jive, we were doing research, and all of a sudden it was 1 o'clock, and we look over at each other and we go, oh my gosh, we have not eaten yet. We didn't have a bell that told us it was time to eat. So yeah, that was interesting. And then just having, the time to actually collaborate and have deep discussions. That's been probably one of the best things, is really talking about things and pushing each other's thinking and researching new concepts and going outside of our district and finding out what people are doing and stepping inside our district, because I'm a huge believer that a lot of good ideas are right next door to you. You just need to go find them. So we did spend time in classrooms in our district because we've never been in a middle school environment. So that was something that both Colin and I needed to learn. We needed to see and feel what middle school felt like. We're designing a hybrid school. It's a 4th through 8th school. So we needed to know what middle school is like. We knew elementary school really well. Colin was a 5th grade teacher, and I had been a 4th grade teacher for the last 2 years. But having spent most of my career in the primaries, this was something I had a lot of learning to do. But yeah,
Hey,
it's
what's
definitely transition.
is Colin on the Twitters?
He is. His handle is, or his handle, his handle is.
What were you trying to say today?
It's Mr. Hannel is his handle.
How do you spell it? H-A-N-N-E-L?
H-A-N-E-L.
H-A-N-E-L. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if was he down at Q?
He was at Q. Actually, the whole quantum team went to Q, along with our superintendent. We and our new principal, Ted Kirkbride. He's also on Twitter. I think he's at Mr. Kirkbride. And we did. That's what was interesting about Q this year, is I really had a focus. I didn't get to see as many people as I wanted to see. I didn't get to talk to as many people as I wanted to talk to and spend time with, because there really was a mission behind me being at Q this year, and we really spent time on the vendor floor talking with vendors and really doing some research and trying to get hands-on with some of the stuff that we'd been researching and we really wanted to see happen. So, and I went to some sessions I probably wouldn't have gone to before. I found myself sitting in 2 Lego sessions learning about robotics, which I loved so much. And I tend to stay away from company-type presentations, but...
That's cool. Well, that's good, because Carl told me that you were ditching me the whole time, so thanks, Carl. She was actually doing work.
We did have lunch, John, if you remember.
We did. That was probably one of the more relaxing lunches I had, actually. All right, well, I know that Carl has some good questions for you. I'm going to keep listening, and I'm writing down my questions as we go. So let's let the master, Carl Ingenstreicher, ask his questions, because there's a bunch already forming in my mind.
John, why didn't I think of? I've thought of like 20 questions and I forgot already the first 10 that I wanted to ask. And I'm like, okay, so Joanne, maybe I'm just so fascinated by. I would love to start a school, and you had that opportunity. Where let's start at the beginning. Where did this idea germinate from? Did you go to your district and say, hey, I want to do this, or did they come to you, or where did this begin?
It actually came from the top. So it started with a vision that our previous superintendent, Jennifer Walters, had, and she wanted to design something that was new and innovative. And then from there, they pulled together a team of people who kind of became a think tank. And this was not last year. The last school year. So last school year, they pulled a think tank together of teachers and administrators who met every other Friday pretty much for the whole year. And we were just challenged with, if you could create a school, what would you create? And I think the original vision was more along the lines of an online school, but as the discussion progressed, it was like, that's not even close to the vision that we want to be building. We want kids together, we want collaboration, we want creativity honored, and all of those pieces. So it really began from an idea and evolved completely from its original version, and that was throughout the year. So there were about 10 people on that team, and we had to present our concept to the Board of Education, which we did last spring, and we presented it to the board. And the idea we presented is pretty much what we still have as our plan for this year. And the board was really excited about the concept. There were some things that were pushing these ideas forward as far as why Escondido wanted to go down this path in the first place. And a lot of it was a result of the LCAP surveys. So if you're not in California, you might not know about the LCAP, but we have a new funding formula, and it's the local controlled formula, and with that comes a lot of community input and surveys that went out to the community. And something that was really voiced over and over by teachers and by our community members here in Escondido was parents wanted choice. They wanted to choose schools. They liked this idea of a specialty school, where you would go to this one school because it had this concept built around it. And so last year, a couple of our schools became specialty schools. So they basically took their existing school and created a new vision within that school. And so we had a school that was called Del Dios. They're now called Del Dios Academy of Arts and Sciences, and their whole vision is honoring the arts for students who need to go down the path of the arts, and honoring the STEM movement for the kids who really want to get into the science, technology, engineering, and math path. So that started evolving in the school sites, and then the district was like, we could build something entirely new, and we had space to do it. So we forged ahead, and so after the board meeting, it became apparent that this was something that was going to move forward, and they had asked, is there any way this could be ready for this school year, like the school year we're sitting in right now? And we're like, there's no way. We couldn't build this school to the best that it could be in 3 months. We could do it, but it wouldn't be well thought out and well planned. It would be kind of mishmashed together. And so our board and our administrative, they were very respectful, and they agreed that that probably wouldn't be the best plan, although it's exciting to build something that quickly. It's just not the best way to do it. So they did approve the release of 2 teachers from the classroom to become teachers on special assignment for the following school year, and their primary focus would be to begin researching and planning and really starting to iron out what the school is going to be. And although Colin and I are the teachers on special assignment and our sole focus is the design of the school, we are by far not the only people on the team. And I know with our Share Your Edges story movement, Carl, we picked one word for the year on our very first blog post, and my word was collaboration. And that was very purposeful because this whole building of a school is a collaborative event. And I've learned more about how our district operates and how everything operates through collaborating with all the different departments, from business services to ed services to nutrition. Nutrition actually came to us with research about when it's best to teach PE, which I was totally fascinated with. And from their input, we totally reshuffled our schedule to put our PE right before lunchtime, based on the research they had, because the research was you want to exercise, get your body going, burn all those calories, and then you want to eat afterwards. You eat more, you eat better, and your body's ready to process that food. So nutrition, we've collaborated with maintenance and operations. I'm blown away with the dedication of the people in that department. So yeah, it's been Colin and I, but we are a part of a very big team.
That's cool. Well, you know what? I was doing the research myself on the nutrition part, and I found that it's best for me to eat before I wake up in the morning, before I take a shower, before lunch, then like a 4th meal, and then before I go to bed. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's my own study, though. That's cool. I didn't know that about. You know, I have a friend that I work with, one old kid, and on the Twitters, and he's very pro. He's a former PE teacher, and he just thinks that kids need to be out and moving so much, and he tries to do that as much as he can in his PD, since he's a teacher on special assignment too. So that's interesting. Okay, so that's good. So now, here's my question then, Carl, if you don't mind.
Please.
So the construction of the school, how is that being, do you have any say or input into it? Is it an already constructed building? Like, that's kind of my question, because I always feel like I opened a school in Las Vegas. That's how I actually met my wife, was we decided to go open a school, and we just happened to meet, and I said, hey, look at that lady over there. And so then we became, then I've ruined her life forever now. But when we did that, it was one of the most, I would say it was challenging, but it was also one of the most enjoyable years, the couple years of teaching that we had when we first started the school. And you can design the mascot and think of the colors. But the bad thing about ours was they were behind on the construction, but they had the same kind of stale construction formula because they had this kind of cookie-cutter thing. And I really think that they really need to get some educators or some kind of input to the George Costanza architects that construct these buildings so that they can make them a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really always interested in the learning spaces and the construction of the building, because I really think that really is one of the big things that needs to be reworked if you have the chance.
And I love that question because, as I said, this is truly collaborative. So the decisions have, everyone's asked us for our input all along the way from every department, and they very much honored that this is kind of our baby, you know, and we care so much about it. But working together with all the departments is the only way to do it. Because when maintenance and operations had their original plan of what they were, first of all, let me back up a little bit. We're taking an existing building that's been in our district. It was built in 1979, and it was actually originally built for students with special needs, with some very severe physical needs. And so the site is actually, it's got a unique layout because that was what its original intentions was. It was built for wheelchairs. It was built for all of that. It has a center space to it, which is kind of like a multi-purpose room that was originally supposed to be an indoor pool, but they realized having it was a therapy pool was the original design, and they realized that having a therapy pool, which is a heated pool, inside the middle of the building probably wasn't the best design idea, so they ended up putting the pool outside. So they have this middle space that was used for adaptive PE for many years. And then about 10 years ago, they transformed the site with the changing of laws, and students with special needs now need to be on campuses with the other kids, not on a campus all by themselves. It was repurposed for our community day program. And so we have a lot fewer students in our community day program, which is a great problem to have, right? But the space wasn't being utilized to its capacity. So the district had decided that this would be a good location for our school, and it's actually the design of the school and the layout of the school fits our vision statement of building a community, the perfect thing, because the center of the school is the community space, and you have to go through the community space to get to any of the classrooms. So in that respect, it's such a perfect building. But working with the maintenance and operations, they had their idea of what the school is going to look like. But it wasn't until the teachers, it was myself and Colin and 2 other teachers who were on special assignment. We went to the school ourselves and walked around the school, really thought about the flow of students, where they're going to, enter and exit, and where lunch will be, and all of that. With our input, having the teacher perspective along with the maintenance and operations perspective, we really got a better plan for what the school is going to be. And that's just the ultimate environment. That's collaboration, taking everyone's expertise and putting it together to make something even better than was originally designed, right? Mm-hmm. But we were just shown, we thought that maybe we were just going to get some new carpet and some new floor, and we were excited about that because it is old and it does need updating. But what maintenance and operations is doing is beyond what I even expected. Our school is going to be absolutely beautiful. They spent all of spring break repainting the school, and they put our school colors along the trim on the outside, and it just looks really beautiful. And I think all the departments are really looking at the building of our school as also one of their projects. And it's their project where they get to think outside the box, just as it is a project of Colin and mine where we get to think outside of the box. Maintenance and operations, they're trying new flooring that they haven't tried before because it's actually going to be better for our night crews for cleaning. It's just a better material to use, so they're testing it out on our school. The nutrition department's going to be trying some new things as well. So this has really become the hub of let's try something new and let's not go with the district standard on this. And they're finding really that you can do a lot of the things differently and still have the same costs in the end.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
Really thinking outside the box doesn't necessarily mean more money.
Right.
That's cool. All right, so that building. Now, I have a question for Carl. Carl, 1979. Is the building older than you are?
John, it would depend on when in 1979 it was built.
Oh, you are 19. Boy, you have a cool Smashing Pumpkin song named after your year.
54 days I spent in the 70s.
And that's it?
Wow.
Darn. You probably didn't even get any good outfits in any of those pictures.
It was probably just a bunch of diapers.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure my mother has pictures.
That is right. I forget. I knew that Carl. I thought Carl was around 1980 or 1979. That's so cool. You're such a youngster.
Yeah.
Oh.
Such a cute youngster. Okay, go ahead, Carl. I know you got another question. Fire away.
How I think about this, and I think about, we joke about buzzword bingo and the the flavor du jour in education. How did you balance the desire to create a new innovative space with all of the stuff that gets thrown around in the hot new flavor of the month and all that stuff? What was that balancing act like?
That's actually really scary because we know buzzwords come and go. And so we really wanted to make sure that we were honoring what we really wanted that would be long-lasting. And I know we toss around the 4 Cs. That's a buzzword we toss around. We toss around 21st century learning and STEAM. But one thing, our school's vision is not the 4 Cs. It's the 5 Cs because we had to go a little bit different. But really, our biggest focus with what we want our students to do is we really want our students to make an impact on the community, and the community is our 5th C. And we really feel like learning is really great and it makes you smarter, which is a good thing, but what good is all of that smartness and all of that information if you don't ever do anything with it? So we want to just keep true to that vision. And we're very, when we held all our parent meetings in Escondido to inform parents of what we're all about, we were very honest in saying, this is a project. Like, this is our vision now. It might not be this, in 2 years. And we're willing to be flexible, and we're willing to adapt with the needs of our students, and really be able to move with the times. And because I really think if we're going to talk 21st century learning, that's really critical, that you're able to adapt quickly. And that's definitely a piece that we discussed. We also really we have jumped on the STEAM boat. We are going to be doing integrated learning with STEAM as one of our focuses, and that was intentional. We really wanted to keep the arts alive in our school, and design thinking is an approach that we really want to start having students utilize. We think it's a pretty good process of thinking and problem solving. And will those things be around in 5 years? Will those be the hot buzzwords? Who knows? But for now, those are the things that we're kind of sticking close to. We also, one of the number one questions we get from parents is, are you going to be teaching that Common Core? That's one of the biggest questions, and we tell them we're going to be teaching what the state of California has, set for our standards, and we've always had standards, and for now this is what we're working with. But the buzzword lingo, that was definitely conversations we had.
Well, you need to focus on the arts, because how else are you going to get the next bass player for Fish? Right, Carl?
I know.
You have to have them start early.
What's wrong with Mike Gordon?
Oh, really? It's not Trey Anastasio? I thought it was Trey Anastasio.
No,
Is that not? It's not the bass player.
Singer.
He's a guitar player. Okay.
And
So yeah, I'm just.
he's going to design those like crazy fish stickers and stuff like that. So.
Hey, you're offending the 2 other people I know in EdTech who like Fish, John. So be careful.
Who I'm not saying anything about it. I just like to make fun of you because you're such a huge fan. Who are the other 2 people that are the Fish fans?
I don't know if they're comfortable being. Well, no, one of them. They both tweeted me about it. Kevin Fairchild, who's I believe a TOSA down near where Joanne is, and Jesse Lubinsky.
He's my neighbor.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and Jesse Lubinsky is a director of technology in the New York area.
Okay. Well, they should be proud to be Fish fans.
There's nothing to be ashamed of.
That's right. It's a Ben & Jerry's flavor, for crying out loud. You know what? I'm going to out one more that I know. Scott Bedley and Tim Bedley.
And
Both
I may have been to a Fish show or 2. So,
Long time.
Gosh,
and I
it's been
came
so
to
long.
Chico State once, and it was pretty amazing. And I might have gone to.
Let's play this game. I'll have to think real quick. So, Joanne, what was the last concert you went to attend? You attended in person?
Are you gonna make fun of me?
No. It's not.
Okay.
I just want to know.
Willie
He's gonna
Nelson.
make fun of me.
Willie Nelson. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's not.
Yes.
I just moved from Austin. What? Willie Nelson's an icon. We just had the Willie Nelson statue. Of course, Willie Nelson's great. I love Willie Nelson. Okay, that's all right. So I'm still trying to remember mine. Carl, What was yours?
The last concert I went to was the night. It was in San Francisco the night the Giants won the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a Fish concert, and like there are people watching it on their phones as the first set begins, and I'm like, whatever. I watched it as I was waiting for it to start, and slowly in the middle of one of these songs, this applause just starts to rip through the audience. And it
No
was like,
way.
I guess the Giants just won the World Series. So
Right, that was Game
Wow.
7.
it was
Right?
actually kind of
That's a
cool
good
because
story.
they went out of one song and into "We Are the Champions" and then back into the song they were playing.
They can do that.
I love it.
They're improvisational wizards.
Just like Joanne
Oh,
has
yeah.
been answering questions about what her last concert was. John, what was your last concert?
Okay, so I was trying to think of mine. So I think it definitely had to be Stubbs Barbecue, and I want to say it was Matt and Kim. And that if it is, that was a long time ago, and I need to go to another concert. But I think it was Matt and Kim, or it might have been Wilco. It was one of the two.
Ooh.
Yeah, those are the only
Well,
we
what
had
was
good concerts.
What was your first concert you ever went to?
That's an easy one. That was Billy Joel in Minneapolis, probably about the time that Carl was born, 1981 or 82 or something like that. That was
Nice.
that's an easy one, right? I know. Well, that was because my dad had to take me because I was like 12 or whatever. You know, it's one of those
Yeah.
things they take you when your parents get divorced. They go, oh, here, let's make him grow up a little bit faster. We'll take him to a concert. So I rode that wave a little bit. What was your first
Nice.
concert, Joanne?
Well, do I have to be honest?
Of course you have to be honest. If you say in
I'm just
sync, we
kidding.
will all bow down to your
No.
greatness.
It's embarrassing, but I will preface it with I was in the 7th grade.
Okay.
It was the first time my mom let me go to the Del Mar Fair by myself with my friends.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, and so we were going because there was a famous group coming into town, and we thought we definitely want to be there for it. And yeah, their names were Millie and Vanilli.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't think you were going to go there.
Yeah, right?
Wow, that's awesome.
That gets 2 sound effects.
Here, we got. You know what? I know the biggest Milli Vanilli fan actually, and this is true from Grumpy Old Teachers. Father Tim Bedley. He's a big Milli Vanilli user. He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
It
Okay,
wasn't
well,
not
I had
long
that
after we
CD.
learned.
I had that
Yeah.
CD. Yeah, and I was.
Yeah, I had the
was like-
tape.
Yeah, you're right. I probably had the cassette tape. Tell you the truth.
You had the tape.
Yeah.
Right. I had the single tape too.
Well, so Joanne, before you go, we do want to hear about. Tell us about a little bit about your Edu story and how that got started, because I know that Carl's been trying to follow that, and he's been trying to stay true to it and start blogging more. So tell us a little bit
Hey,
about.
Carl's the king.
I haven't missed a week yet, and I haven't even
I
been
know.
late.
He's been
Okay.
good.
And
He's
he's
been
like way better than I am.
Here, let's
No,
give Carl
no,
a.
no, no. This isn't a comment. Hey, so, well, no, hold on. I'll talk about why I appreciate this after you talk about what it is.
Okay. Well, the idea actually was born from a Voxer group that you were part of, Carl. Which one was it? Was it the Ed Camp? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's right.
And-
Christina Peters talked about it. You and Christina talked about it.
Oh, I'm in that one. I
Yeah, and
didn't
we're
even
like,
listen
we
to
want to
it.
blog more. And so anyways, yeah, I just believe that we need to tell our stories. So the movement's called the Share Your Edgy Story movement with the hashtag Your Edgy Story, and the concept is just tell your story, because if you don't, someone else will, right? And they probably won't tell it the way you want it to be told. So I think teachers are such powerful people. We have so many stories, stories that are heart-wrenching, stories that are amazing, and all of them are worth being told, because our stories are the stories of our students, and ultimately we are the advocates for them, and we have to let the public know what really this is all about, because if they're just going to be reading headlines, they're not going to be reading the best things about what educators really do on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, it was intentionally designed for people to actually blog once a week. The topics, there's a topic posed, so you don't have to always try to think of something to write about unless you have an idea that you want to write about on your own. There's no rule that says you can't. But a topic is posed and anyone in the group is able to pose the topic. There's a shared Google spreadsheet that the topics are posted on every week. And I haven't been as loyal to it as Carl has been, but I've missed 4 and I've been late most every time. But I am storifying it every week.
Oh, that's cool. Well, it's not like a story like I would tell, like, gosh, I had such a horrible day. I had to go into the bottom drawer of my file cabinet and break out my Jack Daniels and do a shot real quick. I should probably leave that edgy story behind, huh? I don't have to make stuff up. I don't have to make stuff up though and make myself seem great. Can I tell like epic fails on my edgy story sometimes?
Absolutely. I think we need to have a topic actually that is the fail and what you learned from it. What is this week? This week is spring break. Can be a tough time.
No, I've actually written it and proofread it a couple times. I think it's ready to be posted.
Nice.
In the time between spring break and the end of the school year, kids can get just kind of frantic and squirrely. And what do you do to deal with school climate on that? And I actually have I kind of flip the question on its head and answer it a little bit differently. But I like my answer.
Ooh, I can't wait.
This sounds like Victoria Ghost wrote it for him.
Victoria's
been blogging too on the
is Victoria being loyal to it, Carl? Is she doing it too?
No, she's done like 3.
She's so busy.
It's not about the quantity; it's about the quality.
That's true.
But for me though, it has been about the quantity though. I think
I know.
I really go in waves. No, but I would never say that about most anything. But I would really go in waves of blogging where I would blog like 20 times in a month, and then I would write 2 posts for the next 3 months. And for me, it's been nice to have a single question to answer every week, and I've not been blogging as much about other stuff, but I've been writing every week. And so, I mean, I would say of the 20 posts I've had this year, 14 or 15 of them are your EduStory ones, but I'm writing every week, and it's something different every week, and some weeks the questions, I love it, and some weeks I'm like, I don't know what to say about this. But I think it's important for us, and I've found just so much more clarity about how I talk about education and how I talk about my classroom since I started blogging that I just like the fact that there's something there every week. And I think we talked, Joanne, you and I talked to Jessica. I'm gonna get her last name wrong, but Jessica Vanistal, who was at the CA chat session. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, I want to start blogging. What should I write about? And I think it's a really easy way for people to start blogging. It's like, well, write about this question. You get a new question next week. So I've really enjoyed the fact that I'm writing more. I've appreciated that.
I did have a routine for a while there that Saturday morning I'd wake up, have my coffee, and I'd read posts and start kind of contemplating my posts, and hopefully by Sunday I would have something written. But it was that routine of writing was really important, and I broke that routine in the month of March. I was going strong January, February, but I need to get back to it because it is all about just getting your words out and thinking about things in a little bit more depth, because when you write, you tend to think a little bit more than when you speak. And then, like you said, the opposite effect happens. Once you've written it, you're just so much more eloquent when you're ready to speak about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I don't think before I speak. That's my problem. I just blurt out. That's why I have so many enemies. So anyway, well, Joanne, you're gonna come on and give us a little summary after it gets going. So you guys are gearing up, and when does the school year start down in Escondido? We're starting September 8th. It seems like we're starting way down in the future for since I moved state so much. But September 8th seems kind of like a late start to the year. Is that about when you guys start in Escondido?
No, we're usually heading back to work right around my birthday, so usually mid-August. Last year I got to go back to work on my birthday, so usually about
Happy
when.
Birthday to you.
Yeah, I know.
So
But
So you
yeah,
guys are
so
ready to go, huh? You guys are going to be going on. So is this like a frantic time then? Because you're starting to feel
yeah,
like it's August. We've got to be
which is
starting to be ready.
why is I don't have any blog posts written
Yeah.
for April or March because it really is this last month. We finalized the principal. We ran our lottery for our students, and we're hiring teaching staff. And we have a purchasing deadline of this Friday to purchase everything for our entire school. So it's been a little like crazy.
Whoa,
That
no
is
pressure
good.
there.
Did
Yeah,
you
no
did,
pressure.
did you hear that one, Carl? She's already bowing out for April. She already just said she's not writing any blog posts for April either.
That
That was
that was not what she said, but that John was also what I heard.
It
As
might
long
have
as she
been
keeps putting
inferred.
out topics, I will stay true to my edu story or your edu
Okay.
story or
That's
the
all
edu
right.
story.
Is it your edgy story or my edgy story?
Well, it's you're collating the questions, and I'm telling you my edu story. The Twitter handle
Right.
is your
But
edu
it's
story.
not my edgy story. It's most definitely yours.
Dude, I'm getting lost in
Who's on
pronouns.
first?
I know, tomato,
Yes.
tomato. That's awesome. Joanne, thank you for taking some time out on tax day to come and speak with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, now I'm going to go file my taxes.
Okay, that's good. And we want to hear, so when the year gets started a little bit down the line and you've had a chance to take a breath, we'd like to have you back on so we can hear a little bit more about it, for sure.
And I say, let's do it at our building so I can give you guys a tour.
That would be super rad.
That'd
See,
be
I would
fun.
love to go down there. I would love to go down there and see it. So that'd be worth it. We need to plan. We need to get down there and like have a I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it needs to be when
Ed
it's
Camp
like an
John?
Ed Camp San Diego or something. We need to correlate.
John,
Yeah.
if only we knew the organizer for Ed Camp San Diego and we could pass that idea along. I wonder
Gosh,
who
That's a
that could
good
be.
one.
Is it Reuben Hoffman? Is it Dan McDowell? Who is it?
I don't know. But whoever they are, probably pretty cool.
Or Joanne Fox. No, so here's what you do, John, is you fly to San Diego for the day to go to Ed Camp San Diego, and you get to hang out with Joanne, and I think Elizabeth Gould was there, and I got to hang out with Scott Bedley, and you get Ruben to pick you up at the airport and then drive you around, and he drives you afterwards, he drives you up to the top of some mountain in San Diego that looks over La Jolla, and it's beautiful, and then he's like, all right, we got to go get a burrito, and he drops you at the airport, and you go home. It was awesome.
It's amazing. Carl flew in for the day, no kidding. It was awesome. And we haven't picked our official location yet, so maybe there's some thought about that.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, if we can do that, I would love to go see the school after it gets rolling. Well, we can do that, right, Carl? Could we get that coordinated? That's the word I was looking for. Coordinated. That
Yes.
shows you how tired I am. I can't even think of the word coordinated, and I can barely say it. So there you go. Must be time for dinner. Hey, Joanne, thanks. Well, we will definitely take you up on that then. Maybe we can do a Techlandia live from the school. What is the school called, by the way? We didn't go over that. What is your
I know.
what's the
Quantum
name?
Academy.
What is it called?
It's Quantum Academy. And
Wasn't
yeah,
that a TV show with Scott Bakula?
Yes, Quantum Leap reference.
Thank
Nice.
you, Carl. Thank you. And I'm George Costanzo. I'll leave on a high note with that one. So, all right. Well, thanks, Joanne. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all your hard work and sharing your story and sharing your edgy story.
Ooh.
This was your. This is a blog post. You should just post this. You can post the link.
I'm
to the,
going
to the
to.
Google
That is perfect. And you'll know when I'm tired that month because I'll just post a sketch note as my blog post.
Right there we
But I
go.
love those. I love those. All right, that's good. Well, everybody, Carl, do you have any last words?
John, I think that my last word is that I stand by what I said earlier in the show. I learn a lot from this, and I appreciated hearing some of the behind the scenes stuff because I think we all dream about starting our own school, so I was appreciative of hearing some of the things that I never would have guessed were things that you have to worry about.
There's a lot to worry about. Yeah, that's so true. All right, we will catch you on the flip side.